Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart is rich with symbolism that deepens the novel's exploration of Igbo culture, colonialism, masculinity, and tradition. Achebe used symbolism like yams, locust, fire, and egungun in his 1958 novel Things Fall Apart to capture the essence of Igbo traditions and create the needed meaning for the piece. Here is a breakdown of some key symbols and their analysis. Number 1. The locust. The locust symbolize the arrival of colonial masters. Initially, the locusts are seen as a blessing. They are edible and bring abundance. The villagers are excited and welcome them. However, their massive consuming presence devours the crops. The coming of the locusts foreshadows the coming of the British colonizers, who also arrived quietly at first and were accepted in some ways before gradually consuming, exploiting, and destabilizing the culture and society. The locusts serve as a natural metaphor for the way colonialism spreads, slowly, then all at once. An example of this symbol's expression is seen in the conversion of some people of Umuofia to Christianity. They did so with the belief that the act was harmless, but failed to see the damage that what the colonizers preached would do to their culture. One piece of evidence of the damage is seen when Enoch unmasks an egungun, something unheard of in Umuofia. To further confirm that the locusts represent the white settlers, Obierika in chapter 15 said, "The oracle said that other white men were on their way. There were locusts," he said, "and that first man was a harbinger sent to explore the terrain." Number 2, the fire. The fire represents Okonkwo's passion, anger, and ultimately his destructive nature. Okonkwo is often associated with fire, burning, and flame. He is referred to as a roaring flame. The only emotion Okonkwo allows himself to feel and display is anger, which is often intense. While fire provides warmth and light, it also destroys. Just as Okonkwo's relentless pursuit of masculinity and strength alienates him from his family and community. Just like fire, Okonkwo destroys many things in his life. He kills his son Ikemefuna and Ogbuefi Ezendo's son. To maintain his favored masculinity aura, Okonkwo suppresses his love for Ikemefuna and Ezimma. In the end, his fiery temper and refusal to adapt led to his downfall. The image of fire reflects both his vitality and the ruin he brings upon himself. Number 3, yams. Yams in this story symbolize masculinity, wealth, and success in Igbo society. Yam farming is a man's work and is often used to measure a man's status and ability to provide for his family. Okonkwo's obsession with cultivating a large yam harvest reflects his desire to embody the Igbo ideal of manhood. His fear of failure marks his understanding of the interpretations of the quality of a man's yam harvest. Okonkwo never wanted to be like his father, who left his family hungry. However, the pressure to succeed and the association of yams with strength also highlights the toxic expectations of masculinity that define Okonkwo's life and influence many of his tragic decisions. Yam being a crop cultivated by men and a measure of manliness places men at the center of affairs in Umuofia. This again marks a reason Okonkwo remained aggressive and preoccupied with his yams to maintain his place in the village. Number 4, Okonkwo's gun. Okonkwo's gun represents masculine power, false strength, and Okonkwo's fear of weaknesses and his eventual failure. Okonkwo's gun is meant to be a symbol of power, but it ultimately malfunctions during a funeral, accidentally killing a boy. This ironic moment, where this show of strength leads to tragedy, symbolizes the futility of brute force when dealing with deep societal change. It also foreshadows Okonkwo's later failure to adapt and his tragic end. The gun also represents Okonkwo's attempt to control his environment and assert his dominance, something he values. To Okonkwo, his gun is both a tool of power and a symbol of manhood. As his hunting tool, he displays it with pride, showing his ability to control nature and his family. Okonkwo's attachment to his gun is also closely linked to his fear of being perceived as weak. He is deeply ashamed of his father's weakness and inability to cater for his family's needs. Okonkwo therefore strives to be strong and successful. His gun is a symbol of his focus and aspiration. Number 5. The Sacred Python. The sacred python represents religious tradition and the deep spiritual beliefs of the Igbo people. The python is a revered animal in Umuofia. It is seen as a representation of the gods and their power. It is connected to the earth goddess Ani and other deities. Killing the python is unheard of, and it is an act of sacrilege that disrupts the harmony of the village. When one of the Christian converts, Okoli, allegedly kills the python, it is a sign of extreme cultural disruption as it violates the most fundamental rules of the land. It is a violation of the ancestral traditions, a betrayal of the indigenous culture, and disrespect to the gods of the land. This act also represents a clash between old and new beliefs, and the community's restraint in reacting with violence shows both their reverence for the old ways and their caution in the face of change.